Gemini, welcome to your energy blueprint reading, and we're going to be going into your chakras and your aura for the week going from the 30th of January through to the 5th of February, getting into funny February. And I've done, lots of signs now, and it looks like it's going to be a funny February. Not necessarily ha-ha, but almost funny, kind of going, oh, that's weird, sort of scenario. Let's just get straight in here. So we got the Chakra man here, we've got the root and everything like that, right? So everything seems to be in place. Let's just see what's going on here. Obviously you will have your tarot reading coming up in another video just after this one. Let's just see what's going on. And this is your root chakra, Gemini, and so that seems to be giving both sides. So there's a lot of movement in a way. It's almost as if like it's summer. It's just you want to move, you want to do things, you want to be active. You don't want to be sitting still. You got ants in your pants, as they say. You got itchy feet. You want to move. You want to, and you seem to be changing, or changes are coming in to your foundations of how you set yourself with situations that are around you. It's almost as if like, you've got a change of environment that you've got to adapt to. And that could well be the energy environment at the moment, because it is really changing. And but there's a little bit more quantified on the physical side. So on the physical side, this is administration, this is jobs, this is businesses, and that sort of thing. And on that side there seems to be a little bit more sort of structure. You know where you're going. There is still things to tie up and avenues that you need to really make sure you cross the T's and dot the I's sort of scenario. Just bring things into the fold, as it were. On the relationship side, or on the emotional sort of side of your root chakra, and this is like the foundations of how we have relationships, how we interact with other people, how we want it within us, and what our belief systems are and stuff like that. There seems to be a lot of movement here, a lot of give and take, a lot of exploration, a lot of willing to look at things in a different way, which would be really nice. It helps you to adjust and reposition yourself. Let's just see what's going on. And this is moving into the sacrum, and let's see what's going on there. Okay, so it's not bad. In fact, it's very good, but there is a slight increase on the left-hand side. So this is back into that administration, jobs and that sort of thing. Let me just have a look inside, see if we can glean anything from that. Yeah, it seems as if like, and this is not just in work, but this is in the material world. So this could be anything to do with your car, house, your own finances. There seems to be an idea or a desire to get, to have it, ordained. Oh no, it's not ordained. Organized a little bit, structured, sort of, ticking things off in a way, kind of going, okay, if that goes there, okay, that's right. That goes there, okay, that will work with that. That's good. That sort of thing within your world. It's organizing. So it's going to be pulling you into the here and now in the sense of getting on and doing things, basically, by the looks of things. You might even find you've got a lot on your plate at the moment. It is your summer period, so obviously things are going to start really happening for you. So it's much easier to sort of change job, move house, buy a new car, that sort of thing during this period here of the year. January, February, going right through to March is often a very good sort of period for you in that sort of respect. Sort of almost December, January, February, is the really good months for you to be really getting things going. So that seems to be a little bit like that. Let's just see what's going on in your solar plexus now. This is really fused. I'm doing a special reading because I'm noticing on people's chakras that there's a fusing between the solar plexus and the heart chakra. I haven't seen that in 30 years of working with people. And it seems it's across the board. It's without exception. And this is why I think there's a lot of things that are coming in from the exterior. It's adapting to a new energetical vibration or environment that is around you. And our energies are changing incredibly. And this could be once in a species change. It could be that big. This is why I think when we did the monthly readings, which you should go in, the collective monthly readings, and one of the main messages that came out of that was learning to connect the energy mechanics to our emotions, quantify the two, the interaction between the two. And this seems to be playing out in real time within our chakras. Now, the fusing of the the solar plexus and the heart can be obviously, you've got a mixture of fire and water, basically, which is going through there. There's a lot of emotions within the heart. And so mixing those two things there can be very explosive. It can also be lovely like a sauna. So, there is good and bad aspects to everything in life. Here, it's almost as if like you're putting all your passions and your desires, all your passions and all your confidence, your courageousness, your determination into your heart's desires. And that's if you know what your heart's desires are. Some people, it's a bit difficult to see what their heart's desires are at the moment. It's a case of putting into what you have around you at the moment that makes your heart go, yes, this is it. This is what I want. Sort of scenario. Let's just see what's going on with the heart. Okay, so there's two desires on social interaction. There's social interaction with, like, community. Not necessarily friends and family, but community. And also that community can then also branch out into work colleagues. And it's a good socializing aspect. But there is also an aspect in front where this is desire for love. It could be the reigniting of the relationship that you're in. It doesn't necessarily mean, finding a new love. It could be finding a new depth of love in the couple that you're in at the moment. And in order to do that, you need to involve your passions in the life. You need to get your passions going through your heart and encourage your partner to join in, and also join in the passions and the heart's desires of your partner as well. So it's a fair exchange. So you're both, sort of like tag teaming off each other. It'd be really, really nice. So there is that aspect there. It'd be interesting to see what comes out in the tarot card reading. That's the Astroflower reading, which comes up in another video after this, for this week, and see how that plays out. That'd be very interesting. I'd like to see what the guides are doing there. Let's just see what how the emotions are doing here. They're a little bit too precise, but then I want to have a look at see what's happening in the fusing between the two there. Well, it's the solar plexus that is pulling out the heart, and that could make for your emotions to be very precise. So, if you're looking for love, maybe your definition for love is so fine that you're gonna reduce the possibilities of connecting with the person. It's going to might be too much. So you might not be helping yourself there. So I would allow yourself to examine new fields. That could be for some of you. For other people, this precision may be a really good thing. It will help you cut through. This is the other side of the coin, because everything plays on both sides. This is why we read cards one way and then can read cards the other way. And it's the same thing in everything in life. There's the yin and yang. It always is there. And it could be a very sort of very good, useful thing that's going to cut through the emotions of the world around you, so you don't waste your time either in emotional connections with people, situations that doesn't. Then they're not really going anywhere, if you know what I mean. So that's what it sort of seems like there. So there's two sides of that sort of story that I would be just a little bit wary of. There is an emotional, a very large emotional build-up, a very nice build-up, I think. I think this is a really nice build-up. I think you're coming to a point where you're going to almost fall in love with love with yourself. You realise how good you are and how rounded you are, and I think that's what that solar plexus is pulling through your heart at the moment, is a lot of emotions that are connected to everything that is around us. And this is a real positioning week, I think, this first week of February. The second week is going to be, that's when the funny stuff, I think, really starts in earnest. But the heart here is connecting with everything. And it's not just connecting with people. It's also connecting with trees, animals, the environment, the planet, the universe, but also, the human world, of how it can be very quirky and a bit stupid sometimes, and how it can be absolutely heartwarming and emotionally complex and fulfilling at the same time. It's placing your heart in the center of your life, making your heart and your heart's desires the center of your universe, your absolute being. And that's what it seems like there. It's really nice, actually. It's absolutely beautiful. It doesn't seem to be too much pressure, nasty pressure. It really doesn't feel anything nasty in that at all, really. So, I have felt it in some signs. Some signs in the center, they've got it much more pointed, and it's very revelative. It creates a revelation within the person, basically. But with you, it's very rounded. It's very nice. It's very Gemini. Very Gemini. Very beautiful. Love Geminis. Love Geminis. I've got a load of Geminis in my life, and yeah, they're great people. Anyway, let's just see what goes on the third eye and your throat chakra. Okay, there is a bit of a little bit of doubt within what you're doing, and a lot of questioning about yourself. That could be also tie into the heart chakra, but that communication, you do have a certain degree of communication, so you're airing these doubts in a way, and it's helping you to see clearly through those doubts, to sort of say, okay, I'm worried about that and I doubt that, and but I do want to go down there, and if I just give a little bit of attention to that, don't follow that doubt, but just give a bit of attention to it, I can go around it with ease. I think that's the sort of conversation. It'd be interesting to see what the cards come out on the guide section. I'm still interested to see that. But there is a lot more sort of thinking, but then I think that ties into the sacrum and the root chakra here, where there's a lot of putting things into place, and there's still things that need to be put into place. And you, as I said before, I think you do have a lot on your plate at the moment. Let's just see what's going on. There's nothing really detrimental. It's not too extreme between the two. So there is, there's lovely bridging energies between the third eye and the throat chakra, because it is the same chakra. But there's lovely bridging between the two, so it never gets too extreme between the two. But I would just be a little bit sort of wary of just going too much in your mind and getting a little bit more into your heart, I think. Let's just see what's going on your crown chakra. Okay. there is this karmic message that's coming through, this conscious message, or this conscious understanding, or evolution, or ascension, whatever you would like to call it. But there's this process of understanding the new environment, the new vibrations that we are in, and it's demanding that there is a lesson to be learned through experiencing life, and the crown chakra there is like a bit like the motherboard. It brings everything together, and here it is connecting to everything, and how you connect with everything that is around you in a good way, that's going to sort of provide a new way of being going forward. That's what it seems like, but there is definitely it's not heavy, it's not weighted, the crown chakra. It's nice. It's not too overloaded, but the consciousness which we find in the center of it's like a cup, and the consciousness is like a plate that sort of sits in there, and it's pushing against the sides because it wants to grow. So I think there's a lesson, whether you like it or not, to be learned through the experiences of your life at the moment. So I would, within your meditation, take time out to just realize your connection to everything, and how you consciously can in the future make those connections better, or more enjoyable, or more conducive to your way of living. Okay, so let's just see what's going on your aura. So yeah, this is it. We've got the lip coming in here. So it appears to be, and this is another thing which I'm going to be doing on the Sunday night. It's going to be the fusing of the two chakras and the changing of the aura. It seems to be like that there's another, if you imagine like the aura's like an onion, and each layer is like a magnetic field, and that magnetic field gets looser or weakens as it gets further away. And there seems to be like another layer of the onion that's growing between two layers. It could be forcing two layers out. So one layer is being produced and two layers are forcing out. So therefore we could be reducing our aura. And that will be conducive to what is going on in the environment that is around us. But this is where it ties into that learning process that is in the crown chakra. It is a moment of understanding of what we're like in our new environment. I don't know if you've ever traveled on a plane from one country to another from a long distance, right? And let's just say, I remember I went to the Caribbean. I went to Montserrat for New Year from the UK. Montserrat is in the Caribbean. It had a volcano that went off the year before I got there. It was an absolutely beautiful place, and with beautiful people. You go from the UK at Christmas time, very cold, and you arrive at Montserrat and you get off the plane, it's like, and you've got to adapt yourself. I didn't land at actually Montserrat. I landed at St. Lucia, but was it St. Lucia's? I think it was. Anyway, in St. John's. But it's adapting to that new environment that is around you that can be quite shocking at the beginning, and I arrived in trousers and dressed like I am at the moment, and within no time I had to take everything off, put shorts and t-shirts on. And that's a little bit like what I'm saying here. It's taking off layers and just putting on one layer that takes care of two layers, if you know what I mean. And it's changing in this environment that is to do with the pole shift energy, which is changing at the moment, and it's changing our energy. I will be doing a podcast with some people on this weekend, according to all of that. It's going to be a very interesting subject. I'll post it on here at some point or if you're not, you'll see it on the Instagram as well. But I'll post a little clip on here, so then you can get a link to the full podcast and the podcast channel that I'm doing it with. But here is what's happening to your aura is exactly that. It's how to recognizing your new position within the environment that you are. Okay, and that change is going to take, I think, pretty much the month of February. It's coming on pretty quickly. And I think this is that funny February. It's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. It's going to give us a new optic or new view of life. So there you go, Gemini. Your second reading, which is with the tarot cards, will be coming out within no time after this video is out. You're going to want to subscribe and click that bell if you want to be notified for for the video that's coming out on Sunday to do with the fusing of the chakras and the changing of the aura. So yeah, there's loads of links in the description below. Apparently you can even buy me a coffee these days, which would be quite nice. I drink more tea, to be honest. But yeah, you can buy me a coffee if you want. It'd be absolutely lovely. Thank you very much for your support over this last year or so, Gemini. It's been absolutely brilliant, and we're going to continue growing and going from strength to strength. In the meantime, Gemini, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.